Alright, today I'm going to show you guys exactly how to install the Redline, probably most seen Amazon jet pump you could buy. Okay guys, so here I got the half horsepower Redline jet pump. If you have the 3/4, the 1 horsepower one from Amazon, they're all the same basically. So there's a few things you got to do before you install it. There's these plastic little protective things that you can take off. The reason why I'm doing this as well, and maybe call me stupid, I bought the 3/4 horsepower Redline, the exact same one as this. They're very similar. You guys can look at them. The mechanical seal, so right at the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see, but right here actually was leaking or cracked. It comes stock, or I guess out of the box at 230 volts. So you have to change that in most cases. Yeah, so I'll show you guys how to change that back to 115, which is what my setup uses. So as you guys can see right down here, it says 230. All you need to do is be able to switch it back to 115. So I think you just move it back this way, just like that, as you can see, and you'll actually see that it says 115 now. I'm going to be installing an elbow on the top, right? So this is a 1-inch adapter, threaded male, and then it goes to a barbed fitting 1-inch for the hose. But I'm gonna put this inside of here as the adapter reducer. So I'm gonna have this. I'm then gonna add a check valve right here, and then I'm going to add my 1-inch fitting on the back. That's kind of the setup that was there before, so I'm going to kind of keep the same. Right now I don't have, some people may be thinking, why am I adding this check valve? And it's actually redundant. You're absolutely right. I'm adding this check valve because my suction line outside of my house, it's 30 years old, and I'm sure there's a pinhole under my deck, and it's 8 feet down in the ground, and I'm not digging that up in November. So I'm going to run this. Yeah, sure, it'll leak a little bit and all that stuff, so as long as I don't lose prime, it should be fine. But yeah, my setup's going to kind of look like this right now. Again, would it be smart for me to put a T on this other side of this in case I lose prime in my suction line? You're absolutely right. If that ever happens to me, I will then put a T, but the pump that I had before was literally exactly the way I'm going to set this up. Yeah, so I've done this wrong before, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I Teflon tape this. There you go. So I went around 4 rounds. So I got some of this multi-purpose thread sealant. It's like pipe dope or whatever it is that you want to call it. I'm going to put a little bit on the threads as well. So now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to hand thread it on first. So I kind of want it here, right? So this is how my setup's going to be. I want it at a 45, just like this, because my suction line is going to be there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my pipe wrench and I'm actually going to spin this twice. Basically all I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go any further than this right here, and hopefully that's all good there. So the next one's gonna be this fitting right here. So this is gonna go on this. It's 1.25 inches that comes with the pump, and then this is a reducer down to the 1 inch, so I can put my check valve on this side. So hand tighten again as much as you can, and then just like that. And then they say to do kind of 2 laps around. So maybe I'm not a big Teflon guy. If you're a plumber and you're looking at this, well, why are you even looking at it? It doesn't make any sense. If you're a plumber, you're not watching this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's going to be the same thing. So I'm just going to thread this on now as well. And like you said, make sure everything's checked out. But that's what's basically going to go on for my pump. And hopefully that'll do the trick. Yeah, so this is the setup I have now. So it's obviously the same pump. It literally looks exactly. But again, as you guys can see on the end, all I did was just thread in that 1-inch barb fitting into my suction line, and everything works fine, but I'm losing prime inside my pressure tank. Now there's multiple things of what it could actually be. This is, again, like I said, you guys can kind of see that there's I'll show you, there's a little drip underneath that casing that I showed you. So anyways, this pump, if I can return it and get my monies back, I will. So that's what I'm going to do now. So what you want to do is you want to turn off your breaker. Okay, so there's a few things. I know the lighting's not great, right? So there's a few things you want to do before it changes this pump. So I've kind of filled the bathtub up because I do have water. If you don't have water, you can't do that. Get some distilled water or something. But you're not going to have any pressure in this tank anyways, which will be fine. Or you want to bleed it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cap the water that's actually inside of my house right now, which is good. I'm going to use that to kind of prime the pump after, which I'll show you guys. But right now I'm going to shut that valve, and then I'm also going to go turn off the breaker and everything. And then I'm going to bleed off the excess pressure with this, this little relief. All right, so that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to bleed this off. So I got my house cap, open this up. So there's no pressure left in that system. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to take, you can just switch this off. This is your pressure switch. Now you have your two legs, so you should have one right here and one right here. Make sure everything's off, your breaker's off. If you have something to test it, you can. You just got to unscrew that. Again, make sure you don't lose these anywhere. Alright, so just like that. So now you have your electrical connection over here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start loosening the actual hose clamp. So again, how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to take off the hose clamp. Now again, if you're getting a whole new discharge line and everything, just cut it. It would be the easiest thing. Actually, you know what? Be a good idea to get a bucket ready for this. Sometimes picking this pipe up too might make it a little easier to get off. But again, having something to catch the water once it's out would also be good. I'm just going to kind of yank this up a little bit. On out of this, which is fine. There we go. Let that drain. I'm going to install my my other line in there. So again, what you want to do, this is just poly, so you can cut it if you want. What they say is to heat it up a little bit so it seats better. And then make sure I have my clip. Are you ready? So again, you can heat it up with a heat gun. I'm just going to use a torch. They say not to. Heat it up a little bit. And what I'm going to do, insert this just like that. So then you can seat properly. And then I got my clips here. You can just bring down, make sure you don't burn your hand. So also what you want to do is you want to have these on a 180 differential. So what I mean by that is you'll see here in a second. I'm going to put one on just like this. And then the other one's going to be on the 180 side of it. Alright, so same thing as before. I'm going to take off the ground screw there. Alright, so the next step is I'm just going to put my discharge pipe bag on. I'm not going to heat this one up. I'm just going to put it on just like that. My hose clamps, the hose clamp that down. Alright, there we go. So now we're all set up. Next thing you got to do is you got to prime this bad boy. Now there is a priming port right here, which is what I'm going to use, but if you have other ways of doing it, like if this was just like the barb fitting straight up, I would have just poured it straight down there, which would have made probably more sense, but it's kind of just the way my setup is. I'm not going to do that. So it's a 17 millimeter. Feed it in slowly through here. It's very tedious. Alright, so it took about like 6 cups or 8 cups of water, but as you guys can see, she's filled to the top now. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of that pipe dope. There is an O-ring on this, so it's probably fine, but I'm just going to put a little bit of pipe dope around here and then just install that bag on. There's one thing I forgot. What you want to do is you want to pre-charge your pressure tank too to make sure that it's at the right PSI. So my pressure switch is set to a 30... It's set to a 30-20, so this should be set to around 28 is what it should be. So I had it preset already. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have it set to 28, which is good. And I'm going to leave it there. So it's all preset there for me, which is good. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open to maybe help prime my pump a little bit too, because my whole house line is filled with water. So I'm going to turn this back on for a second. I think that would allow that to kind of go in there, right? So build a little bit of pressure, which is good. Now I'm going to shut that off just in case it starts to pull sediment so that it doesn't get into my filter there. But right now I should be able to start this. And then I'm going to kind of bleed the line off if I need to with this, if it doesn't build pressure right away. So I'm going to flip this on. There we go. It doesn't sound like it's flowing water yet. I'm going to open a line. Hopefully it should start flowing water at some point. Maybe not. No, not yet. There we go, get a little bit of water. There we go. Try to get some, which is good. There we go. You guys can hear it now, it's starting to pull water, which is good. So there we go, it's nice and quiet now. Starting to build some pressure. So as you guys can see, my gauge is bouncing everywhere. So I'm assuming what's happening is in that suction line over there, in that suction line, there's a pinhole somewhere. So what I'm hoping for and why this changed, hopefully there's no leaks in this now, but I'm hoping that check valve at least keeps the water in my house, which would be the perfect game plan for me. So hopefully this shuts off at 51, probably around there or something. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, there we go. I think that's what's kind of going on here. But my pump is holding prime better than it was before, which is basically to do with this check valve right here. What I ended up doing is I ended up taking that check valve off because I was getting an excess amount of cavitation happening inside my water lines. I didn't take a video of it because I was so pissed off that it didn't fix the problem. But now I'm onto this problem, which is fine, and I'm just gonna have to do it right next summer. It's mid-November now. There's no way I'm digging up my front lawn to fix this issue. But as you guys can see, I'm slowly, very slowly losing prime. Again, it's slow. I've tested this already, and it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'll lose complete 20 pounds that's inside of this tank, and then it'll just cycle the pump. So I've been running it like this for about 3 weeks now, and I haven't had any loss of prime. But if you guys could hear even from that video, there's still some cavitation happening inside, which is terrible, I guess, if you Google it, for these cast iron jet pumps. So again, we're just gonna kind of play it by ear, but I had to take that check valve off. I actually have it right here, which is what I showed you. It fixed my prime problem, or no, it fixed my loss of prime problem. But yeah, nah, I just couldn't do it. It's like you'd literally flush the toilet and there would be like just sounded like a friggin' war was happening in my toilet and all my lines and all that stuff. So anyways, what's happening is I checked the foot valve, and that is fixed. I've checked everything. So my issue's got to be in this suction line right here. So this is just 30-year-old, 40-year-old poly. It's 1 inch. Even from being in here, it still even feels old. So I couldn't imagine being underneath my deck and all the water. There's a big issue there, right? So what needs to happen is I need to dig up, 8 feet down to this pipe and replace this pipe, which I'll do next summer. I'll run it all winter. If the pump shits the bed, I'll just get the new internals and I'll just repair it for 30 bucks and then just run it again until the summer. The only problem is I have a deck that I don't want to get rid of. It is an old deck, but I don't want to get rid of it because decks are expensive. That, I'm going to have to figure another way out because I can't really dig under it. I'll have to cut a piece off. But I maybe, again, I'm thinking in the future, this pipe right here, I'm going to cut the spray foam out. I'm going to see how it actually discharges out into the front yard. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab like those old fence posts or whatever it is, like a 1.5 inch fence post, and I'm just going to try to hammer a 12 foot, 15 foot, whatever it is, all the way to my actual well out there to see if that'll actually work so that I don't have to dig anything up. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy that. Hopefully it helps you guys out, all that stuff.